couple more days to get this one out because it was tough. Well, I mean, first of all, I had to remove I had to remove a bridge, and then I had to build another bridge, and then I had to build stairs, and I couldn't get it right. I couldn't match it. As a reminder, the last episode, I rebuilt this campsite area that had the cool little pathing area across the bridge, and it went down to some stairs. I have not added the stairs yet. This episode, I started with the waterfall that goes from the campsite down into the staging area for Amethyst Canyon, which in this case probably won't be called Amethyst Canyon. But I realized I was missing a blue flower here, so I had to push the pathing up a little bit. And this was all I needed to finish out this little area right there. Alright, that bridge is gonna go away, but I decided I wanted to keep that type of bridge. So in the old Amethyst, I had the log bridge, and it didn't really match all of my other bridges, and so I decided I had to get rid of that, and then I basically had to move it over a little bit. But here I am starting on the water. Alright, so this area, I knew was going to be difficult. And the reason is because I'm in a dream address, and so I can't really properly figure out what everything looks like. I can't always stand in the perfect spot to see everything. And after working on this particular area, oh my gosh, forever, I just decided, you know what, for now, I think I'm just going to have to do it a different way. So I think I redid this particular area that I was standing on about 3 times. And that's why I was having trouble coming up with a video for this, because I just did the same area over and over like 3 times. Seriously. This did not stay. This did not stay. I kept going, like, trying to get it perfect. Alright. So here, I still have the old bridge there, which I am going to get rid of. I decided, since I couldn't really match it anyway, I was going to make it just a little bit wider on the right side there so I could put a second tree. The original Amethyst Canyon only had 1 tree. Alright, this area right here that I'm doing now is where the bridge is going to go. And what I discovered while doing this is apparently the wood bridge is, well, I guess I should say takes up more space than the log bridge, and that's probably why I used the log bridge. So I had to make some changes, and I potentially will make even more changes in the future, but I'll tell you a little bit about that later. This is how I know that I'm a little off, and I haven't figured out how yet. And I'll explain in a couple minutes here why I think that. But the flowers are off. I put them in for now, but I'll probably change them. Alright, so this area I realized is also wrong. And I couldn't quite figure it out, but I thought if I have this area come out just a little bit and then round it, I could put the stairs there and it would give me more space. And then I switched back over to here. This is where the tiny waterfall comes from the camping area. And on my previous video, I showed you all the terraforming. This video, I did not, because as I said, I did areas over like 2 and 3 times, so it was just redundant and boring. Alright, now, this is the current waterfall, but it is in the wrong place. On Amethyst, the waterfall was actually a little bit to the left. So I decided, it was also where the cliff is. You see the cliff there in the background in front of the yellow flowers? It was also back around there. So I had to fill everything in so that I could fix that. Here we go. Terraforming mostly done anyway. Let's build that waterfall. Alright, I cut out a lot right here. We're gonna switch right now. Alright, sorry about that. But as I did this 2 or 3 times, you can see that behind there looks pretty darn good now. I like it with the 2 trees. But I realized that I had to fill in a lot of space because there's like an island with a tree on it, so that's what I'm doing now. I was struggling. That's why it's taking me so long to get this video out. Like, I can't even imagine what's going to happen when I rebuild the canyon. And I also did try to glitch a little bit, and I did manage to do one right here, and I'll get to that. So yeah, this area is going to change again, because then I decided to glitch a tree. Trying to incorporate glitching trees as much as I can to improve it, but one of the problems I'm having is that, like, this area, I can't glitch in the water. You know what I mean? So it's a little tough. Alright, here we go. I had to fill in the water so that I could glitch the tree. I have found a better way to glitch. It gives you a little more handle, and your character is to stand in the corner there, and then get those 2 squares, then hop out, and then hop back in. You have that little U there. Then you can use your ladder to go back up, and then plant the tree. Unfortunately, I messed up there, but I got it. Alright, then we're gonna go back down. And get rid of that water. And then all you have to do is chip away at the cliff. Now, I did find one other issue here. I would have liked to have terraformed it right there. You'll see me try. But I can't do it. I can't do it with the glitch tree. But this area does take up a little bit less space than it did on the original Amethyst Canyon. And that is because I glitched the tree. So who knows if it's gonna stay, we'll see. Alright, I had a lot of stuff to get rid of. So I will be right back. We'll skip all of this. All right, back up here. What are we at, like the third time now? This part right here is where the stairs were. And you saw earlier, this is what I mean. I just kept doing it over and over. You saw that I extended out this area right where I just stepped because I thought that would work better. But by this point, I realized, you know what? I don't think it will. So I did put it back. And now this is, you come up the steps and then there's a landing here and you're overlooking this area right here with the two trees, the big tree and the small tree, you're overlooking that. So that is the one that I'm building right now. It always helps when you're trying to recreate something to look at the items that are actually there if you're copying the dream address. So that's why I'm putting the items in, so that I can get a better sense of, am I getting this right? I think there was actually a shrub there, if I recall correctly. Alright, I'm sorry, but I skipped a bunch, and that is because my computer died and I lost what I was recording. In fact, I need to plug in my computer now because I'm about to do it again. But, as you can see, this area is pushed out again past the waterfall. As I said, I just kept changing my mind. The new bridge is in there. I think it looks a lot better than the log bridge. It comes over here. I've mostly filled in this area. And you will notice when I compare it in a few seconds here to Amethyst Canyon, it is a little different, like right here, and I'm going to explain why. Alright, we're back up here in the upper campsite area. Right here on the right, you have Amethyst that I'm trying to recreate. Left is Sun Canyon. Amethyst Copper is going to go down the stairs, which are not in Sun Canyon yet. So she is going to wait for Copper to come down the ladder. And then Copper on the left has an advantage. She can just run right on through because this doesn't exist yet. Copper on the right cannot. So she's going to run really fast and try to catch up with Copper on the left. This area right here that Copper on the left is on, we couldn't get there on Copper on the right. Unfortunately, there was stuff in the way, which made it, of course, difficult to recreate. Alright, I did change the concrete to dirt. I changed the bridge here. This area I couldn't quite get right, but right here the money rock is here. I think once I get rid of that, I'll be able to make it a little bit better, plus add the bridge. Alright, the next episode, Copper on the right is on Amethyst, Copper on the left is on Sun Canyon. I have this cool little maze area to kind of bridge between my house. And I will tell you, I'm not going to do the rocks. We're going to save that for a future episode because I have a lot of vacant space on my island right now, and I think it makes more sense to wait on that part. But I want to thank you for watching. I will see you at the next episode.